So the subject this time is how human beings acquired the ability to represent things. As I said, representation occurs in nature where you have self-reproducing systems. Biology, the biological world is reproduced by DNA. Human beings, human culture, human thought are reproduced by human cognitive representation. But how did that arise? Well, it's closely linked to the reproduction of human culture. One of the earliest species to be a proper member of the genus Homo is Homo Habilis. And Homo Habilis produced the first stone tools. Very simple. It's like a big pebble that has been just chipped off. How did they reproduce this? Well, probably much the same way that chimps reproduce. In other words, each individual had to reinvent the skill for itself. It would see the others were doing something. It wouldn't be taught. It wouldn't imitate. It would just experiment. It takes a chimp several years to learn how to crack a nut with a stone. I guess with Homo habilis, his brain was twice the size, would have been quicker. But the reproduction of culture then was just simple imprinting and recreation. However, shortly after Homo habilis, we suddenly get a big breakthrough with the appearance of Homo erectus, who was quite another thing. His brain wasn't much bigger, but they were, especially as they were a large species, bigger than us, and supremely successful. They produced really fine tools like this hand axe. This would have been an earlier model of the same thing, probably. Not usually as narrow as that. This is another one, much smoother. They made these hand axes for well over 1 million years. And they were a hugely successful species. They spread throughout the whole of Asia, Africa, Europe, from China to Britain to South Africa. They had a sophisticated culture. There's strong evidence that they used fire. Now, clearly, they must have been reproducing their culture in a much more sophisticated way, and it must have involved representation. But it was static. Over all that time, the hand axe remained. Over 1 million years they made this with no change at all, or very little. About 750,000 years ago, finally, we do see some change. We see the earliest Neanderthals and the earliest human beings, and very quickly we get a whole variety of different things turning up. Nice little knives like that, spearheads, not that one, spearheads like these. A few more tens of thousands of years, you get a huge variety of tools, like as though they were inventing new ones all the time for special